Hey, silly goosies. Welcome to But Seriously, the podcast where we dive into life's pivotal moments and how they shape who we are. I'm Taylor, and each week I'll be sitting down with guests from all walks of life to explore how different challenges and traumas can become stepping stones into one's own authenticity. This is not a how-to on healing, rather an open, heartfelt, and even sometimes hilarious conversation amongst friends. We'll laugh, maybe shed a tear, and remind ourselves that life just is not that serious. So lighten up, let go, and settle in as you join us for stories that are as funny as they are inspiring. This is But Seriously. Let's get started. This week on But Seriously, I sit down with Grant House, an elite swimmer, NCAA athlete, and the lead plaintiff behind the landmark House vs. NCAA case. From chasing his Olympic dreams to challenging a billion-dollar system, Grant shares the highs, the lows, the heartbreaks, and hard-earned lessons that shape both his athletic career and his fight for student athletes' rights. It's a conversation about resilience, purpose, and what happens when you're willing to swim against the current. Thanks for tuning in. But anywho, Grant, thank you so much for joining me today. I know you're like the busiest boy in the whole world, so taking time to talk to me on this silly goose thing that I started, it really means the world to me.
My pleasure.
You're the best. It's so good to see your face. I'm just so excited to get a little closer to you. But before we dive in to the interview, there is a special someone who wants to say hi for the second time.
Wow, 2 in 1. 2 for 1.
Bro, I haven't seen you in ages.
Dude, I know it's been like a millennium.
Well, that is actually true though.
I knew the StreamYard was going, and I was like, I don't see the recording, so I don't know if it was you.
I tend to try and not blame myself, but I bet it was.
You know, we're large.
And even DJing, even when I DJ, I swear to God, half the time I have to look up at someone and be like, I swear to God, I didn't touch anything. Yet I come up and
It might have been
technical malfunctions happen. I've said
Sometimes
I
you gotta
either.
let the vibes come to you.
Well, they normally do. That's the only reason why I'm still doing it. But I said I either need to quit or become a vinyl DJ because I cannot deal with this technology. I'm so bad at it.
Could be electric. That could be your niche, man.
I mean, and it's coming back, dude. I mean, I got a good collection.
I got my collection. I got 2 vinyl record players in my little condo townhouse here. So I'm
hell yeah, okay. We saw actually when we were doing our wedding festival.
Yeah.
In Cabo, the first night we went downtown, this little rooftop, and this guy was throwing down the best vinyl set I had honestly seen. Definitely top 3 in my life. And you could tell he was just as jazzed to have like musicians or DJs in the crowd because we were like respecting his craft, because a lot of people wouldn't even have known what he was or how impressive what he was. Yeah. That he was doing, because a lot of people are just like, oh, if you're not wikiing or you're not doing anything, like it's like, what are you doing? I'm like, no, this
isn't what I signed up for.
He was beat matching with 2 records, so it's all by ear. Like that's literally the next level. Like that's insane. But awesome. I'm just so happy to see your face. I'm so happy you're joining the Silly Goose Club.
Dude, I'm glad
Taylor's stoked as well.
One of the many silly geese.
And well, amateur moment by us, but quick little plug. Swim Bros podcast. Grant to host.
Hey, podcast to podcast.
Founder, and it's probably why he knew there were some technical difficulties.
I had a feeling. I didn't see. I'm a StreamYard user myself, so I recognize game.
Exactly. Well, dude, love you. So glad I got to see you again for a little snippet.
Love you lots, guys.
We'll continue this conversation soon, cousin. I love you so much. Always an inspiration. Lots, so stoked.
Appreciate you.
And then I tell you, it's amateur hour over here. Like I fuck these things up constantly. And then Jack will help me do the setup. And then all of a sudden, like the volume, I'm so bad. It's not even funny. We're both horrible. It's like, why even have this if I can't figure it out? But
you got to go through the stepping stones. Everyone has it. Fail fast, they say. Fail fast.
Fail fast. I just fail hard and fast. But it is what it is. But anywho, it is so, like I said, so good to have you here. I know you're super busy, like Jack mentioned, with your podcast. you just won second place in Indianapolis at your meet. And then in May, you got second again, right?
Yep.
Boy, oh boy, he's just racking up the medals. And what? As an old man, he called you an old man. I know you couldn't hear it, but
28 years young. 28 years young.
28 is so young, dog. Get out of here.
Crazy.
And on top of that, obviously, we're going to dive into everything else. The Olympic pursuit, your case versus the NCAA. You just have this resume that reads like the Iliad. Like, it's insane.
No praise.
No, for real. You're crazy. You're crazy talented. But I thought it would be really great just to kind of like get into the early years. Take two of, what brought you here, how it started. And I know like your brother was a swimmer, your sister was a swimmer. But I guess like what really started hooking you to the sport as a kid, because you just started so young. Like what really drew you in as a fresh little guppy?
Yeah, for sure. As my own little Finding Nemo and the chlorine pool and the chlorinated pool.
Oh, you are.
Yeah, it really chose me. I am a believer that swimming is a sport that chooses you. I don't know too many people who sought it out themselves, but I grew up around the swimming pool. My mom and dad were both swim coaches. They started a swim club. They started a high school swim team as well. They were educators and teachers. So they started a club long before my sister was around, and then kind of grew it while she was growing up. And she's 15 years older than me. So by the time I was around, I mean, we almost had 2 decades. By the time I was 5, 2 decades worth of swimmers, parents, families, community building that were there. And my sister went and swam at a Division III school in Northern Ohio. She finished in 3 years. She was wicked smart. And then my brother went to Division I and a Division II school that he was the first athlete at for swimming. And they had so much success, so many national championships. I would like to say because of him and his help leading the program. But after he was gone as well, too, that they're now a Division I program, Queens University in Charlotte, North Carolina. But I always chased my brother. I always wanted to compete at him. I always wanted to be better than him. And that was why I think I've succeeded and excelled in so many aspects of swimming, and gotten to travel the world because of it, gotten to represent Team USA, won competitions, won awards because of it. So, I mean, I know I did all the work, but he set the pavement for me to run on. So it was really neat to chase him and compete with him and eventually be better than him. But but it was a big reason why I think I have reached the levels I have, to set such big goals, waking up so early, chasing all these goals in a little tiny Speedo suit. So
Dude,
trying not to fall apart.
That's literally why I quit swimming. Like it was a seasonal sport for me. Like we had like a pool in our neighborhood, and I was like, you want me to get up at what time? Like I'm out. Yeah, it's a whole different level of dedication for you guys. I know you and your brother are like 9 years, 10 years apart.
Yeah. 9 years. Yeah. 10 years for 18 days of the year.
Okay. But like, how are you like at that young of an age trying to compete with somebody who's literally almost a decade older than you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was just like my dad instilled an adage in our family, like houses never give up, HNGU. And that just like really resonated through me, like through everything in life. Like you don't quit, you don't give up, and you just keep trying, keep working harder. And for me, he was my hero. He's my role model. He still is. And he's still like my best friend. Unfortunately, my brother. And I just wanted to be him. I wanted to be better than him. I wanted to just be like his peer group. I thought they were like the coolest guys. So to me, I just kept trying to beat them, and probably wasn't even close. And as the years went on, got closer and closer, and it seemed more feasible. And I was so focused on that everything else just kind of took care of itself. I would just show up, try as hard as I could, listen to the coaches. The coaches happened to be my parents and my sister at the time, most of it. So there were some quiet car rides on the way home, but
I was gonna say there had to be some points of tension, right? My God.
Oh, yeah. Especially in the early teen years. We all know we're rebellious adolescents. So,
hormones are raging, of course.
But that's really how it happened. And over time, I just really excelled. I was in a community of a lot of joy, support, love, care. And I think that just culminated into a really great scenario where I got to excel and prosper a lot.
Yeah. And I think like, especially in the younger years, like joining sports teams is so important. Like they're really formative of how you like end up moving through life.
Yeah.
And as swimming, like normally being, I feel like a pretty individual sport, you're beating your own times, you're competing against even like your own teammates. Like it's awesome that you were able to not only have your family, but like the friends that your family developed along the way to kind of form this sense of community. Cause like I loved basketball and volleyball like so much, but it was like the team was kind of always together, working together. So it's awesome you're able to find that. I mean, this is my perspective on swimming. I could be totally wrong, but that sense of community and family in a more individual area.
Yeah, I always say that swimming is an individual sport wrapped in a team atmosphere because ultimately at the end of the day, like you're the only one in your lane. There's no like offensive or defensive moves. Like you can't hit the other person in the other lane. Like you can't do it.
Well, what if you could?
You could technically, but like it doesn't help you. Like bump, like swap and paint, like out there. But even on a relay, like when you go in, your teammates waiting for you to finish. So it's like your responsibility in the pool. But that's what I think like is so cool about my parents and why like I have so much respect and like trust and admiration for their lives and what they've accomplished in their lives is they brought together this community and this club team and the high school team and so many different demographics, so many different people, such a small town, and helped them elevate and become such impressive athletes and such impressive people and welcoming it. That was what I saw for my life as like the only option, like thinking win-win for everyone and trying to support and bring joy to a lot of people. It was really neat because it doesn't have to be that way. Swimming can be very cutthroat, very individual, very me, but I was raised in a community that was we. And I just think that's such a more powerful notion in the world than people realize.
Absolutely. And that probably has a lot to do with you and your brother and sister's success too. Like it's just like really brings more passion behind this sport and for you guys, which is awesome. Obviously, there's a lot of talent in the House name. By the way, Grant House is just such a badass name. Like you guys have like the best last name ever. Like, you're not raising a loser if your last name is House. Like, come on.
Amen to that. That's what I get. So I tell my future wife at some point. At some point, it's like, okay, we know which name we're taking. We know.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm like, I got Beresford or Hee Man. I know it's. I'm like, you're setting me up for failure here, dog. Like.
Oh, I'm glad I'm the only one who references it as Hee Man.
It's insane. I'm like, Hee Man, but I know they say it's He-Man, but that also sounds like Hyman. I know that the in-laws are probably future in-laws are gonna listen to this one day and be like, Taylor, please.
Come on, get it together.
What if Jack took my last name?
Could be. I mean, he does have, like, technically just saying it, he does have the namesake of one of the most badass action figures of all time, He-Man in the Master.
Yeah, no.
Not the same spelling, but it's close.
We're getting rid of the Beresford line. There's no need to continue this nonsense. But anywho, I feel like, was there a defining moment like in your early years of swimming where you were like, okay, like this is my calling. I am so fucking good. And this is no longer like just a hobby or extracurricular sport. This is it, you know?
I think there was definitely 3 when I look back on it and like I hear that question because it's really good. Like at no point really until the 3rd one, like I was like, wow, I'm really like, I need to take it. Like this is going to another level.
Yeah.
The first one was when we were at a local meet and my sister was my coach for pretty much when I was 6 till I was 11. And then my mom was my coach. But when I was like 9 or 10, I think we were at a local meet and I set the state record at this meet, like random meet. We didn't expect it. And we were like, wow, that time was pretty good. And then my sister like looked up and was like, that was a state record. And so we were kind of like, wow, we shouldn't be going that fast this time. Like that's kind of crazy. It came out of nowhere. And we knew I worked hard and trained well, but it was like, wow, that's awesome. And so we got to the state meet, and then I dropped a ton more time and like broke this record and at this time it was probably 2007, 2008, that it didn't get broken until just this past March in 2026. So almost stood for 2 decades. It'll turn into 2 decades. So I'm just going to say two decades.
No, it's 2 decades. Yeah. We round up.
Yeah. And I got like a standing ovation from the people in the stadium, at the pool and the arena. It was at Indianapolis for our age group state meet in Indiana. And I was like, wow, that's like really cool. Dang. Like that's so nice of these people. Like, I guess like that was really impressive.
I really like this.
Yeah. I was like, this is cool. And everyone was like giving me high fives and like smiling and like was super impressed. Like, wow, like that was crazy fast and really good. And I was like, sick. And I was just like hugging my sister pretty much. That was it. And so those were the first two moments. And then I think in high school, when we made the decision for me, I'd had a really good age group career when I was like 12, 13, and 14. And when I went to high school, we moved to Mason, Ohio. But I went to Cincinnati, Ohio at St. Xavier. And my freshman year, like I just really wanted to work hard. Like I really wanted to be part of this huge legacy, best high school swimming program in the country, and history of the U.S. for swimming in high school. In my belief, and I think also can have some objective backing up on that too. But I just really wanted like to be the best I could for the team, and we weren't supposed to win high school state that year. So I just was really focused on the team, everything we could do. I had a really big class and a really group of guys that were my peers in my freshman class, and we're kind of going along the year. And I have this like pretty big injury, like right at the most important part. Like I strain or like pull my groin.
How old were you?
And I was 15, I think.
15?
I was 15.
So we're breaking records at like 9-10 years old. Let's just like call that out real quick, which is nuts.
Yeah, it was like 9, 10, and then there's a lot of records 11, 12, a lot more at 13, 14.
Yeah, and then 15.
They didn't really register. So I was like, okay, I'm getting good, but like this is the expectation of me.
Right.
Like, this is what I want to do. And so my freshman year, I get like this injury. I'm like, oh God, like we work so hard, and I just basically have to, for those that are non-swimmers, it's called a pool buoy. But you put it between your legs, and then you basically just don't use your legs, and you just swim with your arms and do any of the strokes there. So I basically did that.
I drowned.
For aggressive floating. I just basically do that for 3 weeks leading up into our first meet, sectionals. And then you qualify for districts. If you swim club, it's basically like the easiest thing, like swim at sectionals. Just don't get disqualified. Go to districts. Districts, you perform a little bit better. And then state. So it's this 3-week process, and then you get to state. And I almost broke the state record. I had like the fastest time in the nation, like the fastest time for 15-year-olds ever. I won state in both events as a freshman by like 5 seconds and 4 seconds. And then
which is huge in swimming. Well.
It's
right?
massive.
Like those,
I mean, like,
yeah, like those
a snapshot of someone touching the wall. Like they're not even on the same picture frame. So it was just like, and I dropped like 2 seconds in a 100-yard race. I dropped like 5 seconds in a 200-yard race. I dropped 2 seconds in a 50-yard race. Like everything was just absurdly good. And we ended up winning state, not because of me, like it took the whole team, but if I hadn't had this astronomical performance, like it wouldn't have been like really that close. It would have been like probably a good race for second, but it was just super unexpected. And I actually got a tweet from Anders Holmvik. He's Durs on Workaholics for any.
Okay, I was like, why do I know that name?
Yeah, for any ball knowers out there, he's on Workaholics as Durs. And
was he a swimmer?
He was a swimmer. He
Okay.
He swam at Wisconsin University.
He does have the swimmer body, like the yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm sure you would love to hear that right now too.
Yeah, the ice cream, like I always call it the cone shape. Yes, like the big broad shoulders, tapered waist.
And I remember like my brother was at the meet. I was there. He was cheering me on. We were all excited. And he's like, dude, like, you know the show we watch, like Workaholics? And I was like, yeah. He's like, dude, Anders just like tweeted at you and like saw your times. I was like, this is the most niche, like irrelevant thing to so many people, but to me, this is sick.
No, that's awesome.
I was like, dang, this guy knows, like he follows swimming, like this celebrity or like this person on TV that I watch, like Comedy Central, like knows about swimming and like knows Ohio high school state swimming. That's pretty sick. I was like, dang, this is like kind of crazy. And I'd say that was the moment that I was like, when I performed at state, got like that silly recognition, but I was like, dang, this is like, I'm pretty good at this thing.
Yeah, no, that would be a huge turning point for me too. I love that show. Are you kidding? But also all of the winning. Hilarious. This is insane that you were able to accomplish this so much. With all of these like huge accomplishments coming so early on, I mean, like, I feel like that really had to set the precedence for like excellence for you and goals. Like, I mean, how did that kind of like shift year over year as you kept winning, or was it kind of just all out of sight, out of mind? You just kept winning, like, because it seems like you just have this attitude like, oh, I can't believe it, but like, it's like, my God, you had to have been doing something right and like measuring these goals in some way, right?
Yeah, no, it's actually a great question that you asked, because it actually did pretty like aggressively turn like after like high school, or not after high school, after that first high school year. I kind of started in that summer, like the next year I was like, well, I got to be better now. Like I started thinking too much about it and like getting too hyper focused on like performing better, performance, like eating better, mapping everything out. Like perfect became the villain of good. And that was really my like demise for 2 years. Like I still improved a little bit in different ways, I think, my junior year, but my sophomore year, I like did even more work, performed, like trained even harder, did everything a little bit better. And like, it was like a marginal improvement. And I was like, wow, I'm just exhausted now. And then I got to my junior year and I like really doubled down. Like I stopped playing water polo to focus on swimming, which is like kind of silly looking back. And I really like water polo. It's way harder than swimming. It's way
like,
more intense
and aggressive. Treading water, trying to
drown people and shoot a ball to a goal.
No, I would actually die at that game. I could maybe do the one you were saying, just swimming with your arms, but like water polo would absolutely kill me.
It's aggressive and it's exhausting, especially for swimmers not used to going like all out for every play. Like it's pretty crazy. But my junior year, the Olympic trials were that year too, and I qualified for my first Olympic trials that year in 2016. And I was ranked like 27th in the country. And I had this idea. I was like, man, if I have like the way the Olympic trials works that you always hear about and see it, you have like a pretty good race. You perform at the meet, like, okay, maybe you make top 16, not that far out of 27th. And then I swim better at night. So maybe I swam really well at the semifinal. The top 8 of the 16 go to the final. And then once you have a lane, you have a chance. So like maybe I can make the Olympic team. And man, was that probably the most humbling experience I've ever had. I went there. I was super nervous. I did everything I could, crossed every T, dotted every I, like overstressed, over-focused on everything, was like gripping the glass water too tight. And I added like 6.5 seconds in my event.
Well, the amount of pressure on one race too. And how old were you at this point? You said 17, 16?
I think at this point I was 17. I was about
to that's 18. So much, dude.
And and I was just like self-created too, I think, more than anything, because no one else was like, you have to do this. It was like, wow, he has this opportunity, but it was just like so debilitating for go from 27th and feel very successful to 152nd out of 154 contestants entered in the event. I was like, well, I didn't get DFL, dead fucking last for but I was like, this is horrible. I feel awful. And I almost quit the sport. I hated it. I was like so disgusted. I was like, this makes no sense. I gave everything I could and just completely was failed. And then the next year I went back to water polo, played that, didn't swim until I was done with the season, fell in love with it again. My head coach was a new head coach for that year. Kind of took it at a different frame of reference. Like, let's really enjoy training. He was also my meditation teacher in my senior year of elective at a Catholic Jesuit all boys school, classic, but really helped me like be a guide. Like he used to be a monk at a monastery, but like really helped me like reshape my life. Like quite
Dude,
literally.
You're cracking codes people aren't cracking. Like I didn't crack the meditation shit code and wellness code till I was like 25. Like you were like,
I was just
so
like
impressive.
So high strung after that event. I was like, everything is wrong. Like I was just like, clearly what I'm doing is not working what I was. So I almost had to like unravel the yarn ball. And luckily he was just like a great mentor to do that. And I'm not gonna lie, like meditation seemed like a fun class to take your senior year. Also, I like
zone out for an hour. Let's go.
I also like to think I'm like a little bit more emotional for like a like the image of a masculine man. So I was like, I need to kind of like get in touch with myself a little bit.
Dude,
like,
Hartmans,
discover my
That's the same way, babe. Like he's like, I'm
it's
like,
the same thing.
I love it.
So it was a really interesting process, but I'm really grateful I had that adversity because I think if I hadn't had that last senior year in high school, with like trying to reinvent myself a little bit, I wouldn't have the success that I ended up having by any means.
Yeah. Well, I think that's really, I mean, it's a testament, and I'm glad it happened to you so young, not later in your career, right? Because like I actually was planning on like kind of talking to you about that. Like, did it ever feel like an obligation and not fun anymore? But it seems like by you taking some time and also finding kind of like that spiritual softness side, it kind of brought you back home, which is like literally what this whole podcast is about. Like, you know what I mean? Like being able to tell your story, figure out what you want, and come back to baseline. And that's just like, I think it's so impactful that happened to you early, because look at you now, dog, still on that Olympic pursuit. But I think this is also something my like therapist always says to me, like, I can get a little perfectionist time it too. And it's like progress, not perfection, but it's so easy. And I'm not even a fucking athlete. So I can't even imagine your mindset like of chasing perfection over like the progress and the joy, you know? So that's crazy.
It's huge. It's huge. I mean, it's very, as an athlete, like chasing high performance, I've learned like it's very easy to get lost in the sauce of like thinking like more is better. And typically when I've poured more into my like human cup and like when I'm trying to feed the soul of like Grant more, I typically everything else like goes way better. And it's like when you look at it in hindsight, it's like, well, no, duh, dude. Like this doesn't make any sense. You're not enjoying this.
Balance.
Yeah. You gotta have the trade-offs in it. So it's just like the physical, the emotional, the spiritual, the social, like it all blends into each other, and you just got to pay attention to it a lot more than I'm glad I had that to realize that early on.
Okay, this kind of like I want to ask though, like
yeah, please.
was there like times because you were training so hard, right, and doing these things, and yes, it's your calling, and like yes, you had a little falling out with it, but were there any moments of like huge FOMO as a kid? As I'm sure as other kids that you're swimming with, like they're taking it seriously, but not as seriously. Like, did you ever have moments like feeling like you were missing out on something, or like that you sacrificed maybe something that you didn't want to or need to when you were early on?
This is a. I mean, every question's been phenomenal so far. I can understand why the listeners tune into every episode. But for me, like this has been my biggest, like, I don't want to say kryptonite, but it's been one of the biggest things that I like deal with later. Like I say later in life, but like right now at this stage of life that I am 28 years of age is like kind of having the awareness. Yeah. A little bit elevated above a guppy, but yeah, still a toddler. And like when I was in high school, I was like, everyone else is doing this wrong. Like I'm doing this right. I'm going to be the most successful. I'm going to go for it. Like I'm doing this. And that definitely perspective outcasted myself, pushed some people away, helped other people get better, like my teammates at athletics and like performing better and motivating them. But definitely like socially pushed a bunch of my friends and people away so that now doing the unraveling that we talked about earlier, now that I come back around, it's like, dang, like this Grant is like sick to be with. Like this is the guy like we always thought we could like hang out with. And I remember like even at Christmas this past year, so almost 13 years removed from high school, which is weird, from freshman year. So the version of me they first saw 13 years later, it's like we're at a bar at Christmas. There's 8 of us. And we're not like going out until like 11 o'clock. It's like 10 o'clock. Like someone's like, oh, I got to go to work tomorrow. Like, oh, I got to do this. I got to do this. And I was like, dang, this just felt good. And they're like, yeah, we didn't expect you to come. And I was like, okay, we probably could have gone without that, but I get it. I understand it. So there was definitely a lot of realization. Like at the end of my senior year of high school, I was like, man, I kind of want to soak this in. I feel like I might have done it a little bit the wrong way or gone about the wrong way at a lot of times. But I'm still happy where I'm on the path that I'm on. And I went out to Arizona State to kind of like, honestly, like reinvent myself because I felt like everyone had that image of me where it was like, he's just so high strung. He's high performance. He's like the swim guy. That's all he is. And like, just became my mask. And like, anytime I tried to step out of that, I mean, this is like super vulnerable, but it was like going on a dance in high school and then like having the date that you ask out, like abandon you. And like, that just sucks. And it's like, that's pretty lame, but like, I wanted to have a good time. I wanted to hang out with her or them because it happened a couple times. And it's like, I'm with my friend group, but they're like kind of doing their own thing. And I just don't feel comfortable with that aspect. Like I didn't have alcohol until I was 24. So it was just like a different path and a journey. And I felt like I needed to leave home to like really reinvent myself and like discover myself again. Cause I was like, if I go anywhere close, people are going to know me. I'm going to know them. They're going to know my family. And not because of like finances, but just because of like the swimming community is so small and so connected that I was like, I just need to get somewhere that's going to be new and refreshing. And I can like almost start like a new chapter. And that's why I came so far west and had that opportunity to kind of pick and choose who I wanted to be. And I feel like I got on a good pace for like 3 years and then got to that same like burnout point of like just doing too much, nose to the grindstone, too much performance, too type A, not having enough fun, not being a good enough like social person. And I fractured 2 of my ribs training. And then that was like the world and like the universe telling me like, dude,
another wake up call.
yeah, you're not going to stop. So we're putting you out of decommission.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like getting ready for the 2020 Olympics, and then COVID hits, and I was still recovering from this injury, and I still didn't get the message. Like God and the universe tried to send it to me, and they're like, dude, we need you to slow down. You're trying to rush this. And I didn't listen. I was like, I'm going to train on these 2 broken ribs. Like I'm going to do this. I'm going to be an Olympian. And I was so exhausted on willpower, resilience, like everything, that straight up, as much as I love like the process of trying to perform at the highest peak, when I was at my best friend and former roommate's now assistant coach, which is a crazy cool friend arc, but I was at his house in Tempe, and I found out that the Olympics were canceled, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so relieved. We don't have to go to the Olympic trials.
Yeah. Wow. That's different. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Feeling
and
relief.
then I didn't even, I was on the phone with my mom and we talked about it. And then we couldn't swim because facilities were being closed down, but I didn't swim for 15 weeks straight, didn't have access to a pool. And then I got access to a pool, and this was like the most telling point. And I was like, no, not ready yet. So then I waited another 4 weeks.
Wild.
Yeah. So I was 20 weeks out without touching the water. And then finally I had some like a really close friend of mine that I came out here. He was an Olympian for South Africa. He was like, hey man, like, let's have fun with it. Let's just like get back. Let's start with one. Let's start with one session that's fun. We're going to be laughing during it. And I was like, okay, I'm down with that. And it was just a backyard pool. And then his coach at the time, coach had a garage gym. He's like, we're just going to go to the gym and lift afterwards. And so it was kind of this like convincing over time that because they had trained with me at ASU and they had brought me back in and started doing 1 practice, then 2, then 3, then 4, but never too many. Like it didn't go up to like now it's 10. It was like 4, 5. We're going to go Monday through Friday, enjoy it, take the weekends off, go do something in Arizona. And I came back that fall and I had best times in all 4 strokes of every 50, every 100-yard stroke, and my 2 best events that were 200-yard strokes. And I was like, this is unreal. This makes no sense. I've been back in the water for 4 weeks training. How am I beating all my best times?
Dude, I'm telling you, like, this is something I preach in my yoga classes all the time. Like, I see students getting pissed off, like mid flow or not hitting something. And I'm like, take yourself 15% less seriously and just like find your breath and go. And then all of a sudden they can do it. And I'm like, I feel like the moment you're doing your best is when you're just kind of like, this is fun. I'm bringing frivolity back into swimming. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah, it's just way more simple. There's less stakes at risk, like perceived risk. And I've just kind of been like, I had that cycle in high school. I had the reminder early in college. And I feel like it's just kind of been more awareness of that since 2021 of like this, okay, I can go all in, but like knock at the door, like, hey, like reminder, maybe it's time to pull back a little bit or go enjoy life. So,
well, good for you for listening to those signals. Cause some people like me, dude, it took me forever. And I kind of did the same thing. Like after Ohio, like losing my mom, I was this unstoppable moron, unable to quit partying and like doing horrible things. And it was like, I need to leave. I need like a refresh start. And it really does do wonders. But I feel like the fact that you were able to take these signals at such a young age is so impressive. Also, I don't want to diminish like the hard work you've done either. I didn't mean to ask that in the sense of like, what do you regret? I just mean like,
no,
it's wild.
Just like a realization. Yeah.
But like looking at your discipline versus like mine, like I was a sporty girl in high school and grade school, but like when I was in swim meets, dude, this is so bad, but it's so on brand. I remember it was like 7th or 8th grade. It was summer. And what's it called? Like your heat is up, like your swim.
Yeah. There you go. What a pro.
It was my heat, and I was like always backstroke or IMs, and sometimes like freestyle relays. But I missed my IM heat because I was in the adult pool with all of the older boys flirting. My coach was like, "Where are you?" And I was like, "What?" Like, and my mom was like, "We're done. You're done with swimming. Like, I'm not spending all this money for you to sit in a swimsuit and flirt." Like, and my sister was like completely opposite. She was actually really good. but she wouldn't do it unless she would get bribed. So like if she won first in her race, they would like give her a slushie or like a pack of gummy treats.
Oh man, this is
so then my mom was
coded.
like, swimming's just not for you too. Like, but you guys, the discipline does like make sense to why you're successful, but I feel like it does sound like finding that balance in your like work social life type essence, like kind of really moved the needle for you too, which is really cool.
Yeah, it was a huge. I mean, I think simply put, it was like I just worked myself into this level of exhaustion and like breakdown to where then I like had to take the time to pause. And it took me like the first time was like, all right, this is kind of like your message. The second time, you didn't learn your first time, shame on. First time, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on
the
me.
universe will keep kicking your ass until you listen. Like it'll happen.
It was just a message to me. Like it truly was like okay, you don't need to not perform really well or take that seriously, but just like, don't just floor it on the gas pedal all the time. Like sometimes you got to stop. Sometimes you got to go. Sometimes it's like 70%. And just learning that a little bit better, which I'm still in the process of that. I don't have it mastered yet, but I just go about it so much better. So I really take it as like a really prideful thing that like when my friends that were in high school that were still connected, super enjoyable to talk with them, that it's like, dang dude, it's just like really good to like chat with you in a different way now. I'm like, I appreciate that. I don't take it in like a bad way at all.
Good. Well, I'm glad you brought up ASU. I did want to talk about, like, you already had kind of mentioned what brought you there and, you know, kind of being like the student athlete and stuff. I guess like for you, what was the biggest like surprise or not the biggest surprise? What was the biggest draw to ASU besides the distance? Like, was there a reason that was like, this is the school I'm going to out of like all the other schools? I know they have a great like swimming and sports program, but what was really what drove you there besides the distance?
Yeah, well, fortunately, I get to hear people say they have a good sport or swimming program now. They didn't when I was looking there. And
okay.
After being a part of a high school program that was so like historic and a legacy, I knew what it meant to be a part of something bigger than yourself. Mm-hmm. And I kind of wanted to take the role of like really creating that for every like future generation and try to create that. Because when I went out there, I'd never been west of Texas. And I was like, this is kind of cool. Like it's outside, every pool's outside, sun's shining. It's not the gray Midwest anymore. Like
no more seasonal depression.
Yeah, I can get to the beach in like a 5-hour drive or like a 1-hour flight. Like I can go up north to Flagstaff and get like pine trees and camping. I could go technically to like Mexico and drive there in 4 hours and get the beach too. Like
Sedona's sick. Like it's all
Sedona's like an hour and a half away. I was like, this is pretty dope. Like it's own little like ecosystem out here. So I saw a new aspect of life, and then ASU as a swim program had actually their program had been cut. So they'd been like taken away from the university in 2007 and 8. Kind of full circle moment. We actually had gone out to Arizona. So I guess I briefly lied. I'd gone to Arizona one time for.
Don't you dare lie to me.
I know. Please forgive me. For every listener, I'm sorry I failed you. But we were out there for Kyle's recruiting trip. And in his recruiting process for college, my older brother, he went to Grand Canyon University, University of the team down south, the Dirty T, Tucson. We won't say it. U of But and then he was supposed to go to ASU, but the team got cut. So he went on a campus tour with one of the alumni, who was a coach at the time, and the alumni brought back the program, fully funded it. So when I got there, like the head coach was a really strong name in swimming. And there were a couple like pro athletes training there that were working towards the Olympics. And it had some success like the year after he got there and like had a little bit more second year. So I was like, all right, there's some momentum. I think that's really cool. I want to be a part of that. I got there. I was like, I think this place can be a national championship program. I think we can win conference titles. I think I can accomplish my goals as an Olympian out here. It just made too much sense to me. And I didn't want to go somewhere where I'd just be another puzzle piece. Like I was basically considering University of Texas or Arizona State. And I was like, well, I kind of was already a puzzle piece of a really cool puzzle in high school, a big legacy. I feel like if I go to Texas, I just redo that process and it would have been cool. That was the best recruiting trip I had. I will say that. But like, I just felt like there was a calling to be a part of something bigger than myself and building something bigger than the program, but like impacting lives. And that was at Arizona State. And that's ultimately why I went there. Beautiful place. I felt like I could accomplish something bigger than myself. And they had the education path that I thought I wanted to go on.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
So we go there and just work on, and like we said, individual sport and a team atmosphere. And by the time I was done, we went from 30th in the nation as a men's program to we were national champions in 2024.
Oh, shit.
Most
Look at
proud
the
of.
House brothers just bringing greatness to their schools. I mean,
Amen to that. Amen to that.
What is it? Houses never give up.
Yep.
HNGU.
HNGU. And yeah, we're just big builders. I was always a fan of Bob the Builder. Maybe that's existential consequences of the show, but
you're aging me a little. Bob the Builder was a little after my childhood time, so thank you for that.
Yeah, just dropping that tidbit for any ball knowers of good cartoons for
books. Yeah. I was more of a Scooby-Doo gal myself.
It doesn't age.
It's just phenomenal. And SpongeBob, of course. But okay, like with the college, obviously we have to talk about the House versus the NCAA case. If you're not familiar, well, I'll let you take it away. This is a case that you kind of had spearheaded about college athletes getting compensation for brand deals, endorsements, college, like if they're using your face and brand, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I know you guys got like a $2.8 billion settlement.
Yeah. So there's a lot of levels to that. I think for the settlement, it boils down to for the entire existence of the NCAA. So anyone who knows what college sports are, up until 2021, college athletes were never allowed to accept any payment in any regard for their involvement while they were in college, while they were an athlete, whether it's even there were struggles with the clinics, getting paid to like host a camp, anything in there where you're like monetizing off of your status as a college athlete. So anytime you could make money off of being good at college sports, helping like with a camp or a clinic, the simplest way that I say, like what NIL did in my lawsuit, House versus NCAA, I believe athletes deserved the same basic economic rights that everyone else did, period. And what I mean by that is my dorm mate could make, this is a good example. My dorm mate could make the best podcast ever, and then my other one could make the best music ever, and they could make millions and millions of dollars. But if I made either one of those that was better, on top of being a college athlete, I wouldn't be able to accept a penny of it just because I'm doing more than them as an athlete. And that just didn't seem right to me. That made no logical sense. I'm like, I'm doing more than these people. And if I have these other skills, I can't like benefit from it. Yeah. That just seemed really like restrictive and really limited. So that's kind of why I took on this opportunity to be a leader for NIL and college athletes, because I was a captain on my swim team in high school, but mainly for the understanding sake, like at ASU. So I was like helping lead 60 people. And then I took another step at Arizona State University of being the Student Athlete Advisory Committee president. So the SAC president, they call it. That's typically like every university, but you're the point person for all the athletes to have like a meeting once every 3 weeks. And they kind of come to you with their like complaints or like, what can be better? What can we help you with? And so I heard a lot of different aspects from like 600 athletes. That's how many athletes are at ASU. And because that went so well, and I enjoyed that so much and advocating for that and getting things actually accomplished for the athletes, I got pulled into representing the Pac-12, being the spokesperson for ASU at the Pac-12 level. And that was representative of like 6,000 athletes, as I like to say. There were 12 schools, so 10 times 6 is 6,000 roughly in there. Not every school has the same amount of athletes, so about 6,000 athletes. And at each step, I felt like it was a higher calling to be a part of something bigger for myself, to advocate, to speak up for those struggling. And when I got the opportunity to represent all Olympic sport athletes and all across the U.S. and ultimately people that come in from the globe as international athletes, I was like, they deserve better opportunities. They deserve those better economic rights and opportunities, whether they want to do it or not. That's their choice. Yeah. But right now, we don't even have
the option, right?
Yeah, we don't even have the freedom of choice. And I was like, that's messed up. That just doesn't make any sense at all. Like we're the country of democracy, like land of the free, home of the brave, and yet no freedom, no one being brave in college for athletics. So it's like, this is messed up. This is not right.
I think that's such like a big aha moment, like for you and just for the sports industry in general. And I feel like our generation is the voice that is starting to question these procedures, not even just in sports, right? Like I've seen a lot of pushback, like when you leave college, right? And your first job is an unpaid internship with no promise of getting hired. It's like, then what the hell am I doing here? And I feel like our generation is just shaking shit up. Like we're pushing the boundaries. And the fact that you went ahead with this is just like so with so much courage and conviction is so fucking impressive, dude. Like when I found out you were doing this, I was like, what can't this guy do? Like this is madness. But was there that. Oh, like please. Did you, I mean, like, it's such a nuanced thing to discuss. And like, I was kind of like looking into it before this, like, obviously you started this for like, especially for the swim aspect, right? But like with this branching out for all NCAA sports and the NIL, like it has to be so different for sports based off of popularity and funding when you're looking at like swimming versus like basketball or football for these schools, right? Like, have you dealt with any like repercussions from those kind of things or like flashback? How's that been and handling that?
Oh yeah, that's probably been like it's been the biggest practice. And I'll recommend a book for any listeners, or an audiobook for those people who are a little bit more savvy towards that.
We're all big book people in the Silly Goose Club. Okay. Like I shove books down people's throat. They're not really informative books. They're more slutty books, but
okay. Well, I'll abbreviate it so it's even more directly beneficial. You don't have to read the more boring stuff at the end. But it's a book called Man's Search for Meaning. And in the book, the biggest thing is there's a gap in between every stimulus and response. Or there's a gap in every stimulus, and then that gap dictates whether you're going to react or respond. And the last 6 years of this legal process has basically taught me the difference between reacting and responding as a leader. And I think that one of the biggest things that like I always have athletes to understand is like your value is so much more than your performance, like your stat line, your times, your ranking, your medals, but that's not the whole story. And that's not what every brand deal is about. Your values and your character, your integrity, your discipline, your story, your community, your influence, your impact, your education, the trust that people have into you. I think that's like what legacy ultimately is. It's like accountability, integrity, and what you did for others with the time you had. And so for me, it was just like this whole narrative just like replaced with every headline from Yahoo Sports, from CBS, from, ironically, the biggest pushback was from the swimming community, which kind of hurt the most. It was like, a two-way conversation.
Surprising.
Everyone was like, you're ruining college sports. You're ruining swimming. We're not a revenue sport. It's all about football and basketball. And I was like, well, yeah, they do get paid more. They get more media attention. And that's because for the large part, no one wants to make swimming better. So it's a pretty boring sport for anyone not a fan of it or doing it. It doesn't really make sense. Like there's so many things that need to be better with it. That's another topic. But like your product isn't good, so no one's going to buy it. And that's the reason it's not revenue generating. So that takes that argument out, like puts it back on responsibility. But everyone was like, this is going to be the demise of college sports. This is going to be ruined swimming. Earth is 70% water. We're not losing swimming anytime soon, folks. So it's like, it's just ridiculous commentary on like uneducated takes. Like, the three biggest things.
That's the internet for you, dog. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And it just like fully encapsulated like the human condition and like ignorance from, because the three biggest things that were like, this can't be real, was when people saw House versus NCAA. Well, I guess when people read the headline, like House sues NCAA for $2.9 billion at the first. I think it got downgraded to like 1.9. But when it was everything, it was like, wow, this person, this one thing is making all that money. Like they're getting all that money. No. And so that's not how that works at all. So that was the first piece. The second piece, which kind of goes back to the first piece in some regards, is I still have people 6 years later that don't know House as a person and House versus NCAA. They think it's the House of Representatives. And that's just mind-blowing to me.
They got bigger fish to fry, dog. Come on. Yeah. I hope at least.
And then the third aspect is like they don't know it's a person. Like when I introduce myself, like they don't know like, oh, I'm Grant House.
Yeah.
Like House versus NCAA. It's like, oh, okay. Or they don't flat out know like what House versus NCAA is for the younger generation, like 20-year-olds or 18-year-olds. It's just like, oh yeah, I get paid in college. It's like, you have no idea. You have no idea like what
you're welcome
for actually. Yeah. And so, and I'm not even looking for like the you're welcomes. It's just like, you have no understanding of what like the landscape is. So those have been the craziest things of like, I'm just getting all this hatred, like even just like, honestly, anyone wants to see like a little tidbit of it, like I just went on my LinkedIn. Probably like, it's so funny to me. That's why I bring it up. Like the slander and the negativity that gets pushed onto me on my like LinkedIn sometimes. I'm like, guys,
who's talking shit on LinkedIn? Get a fucking life.
I'm like, what are you
Go
doing?
on Reddit like a normal fucking person.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one with that reaction, because of all places, I'm
Oh
like,
my
this is just
God.
like professionally blasting yourself to your peers that you're
Weird
just
as fuck. I've
such
been
a
hit
dude,
on
such a
LinkedIn
loser.
before, dude. Like
I could
guys
believe
sending my
that.
DMs. I'm like,
I could
what is
believe that.
what is this forum for?
The
That's so
forum is
funny.
crazy, but the professional baddie is an attractive allure for some people.
I don't think I'm really giving professional baddie alert at all, but I appreciate that so much. My
Gotta
God.
hype you up.
I appreciate it, but that's just not a true narrative. Obviously you mentioned like getting pushback from these strangers and stuff, but how was like your close circle, right? Like your family, your coaches, your fellow swim teams, like was there any resistance from them, or like, are you sure you want to do this, dog? Or was it like, let's fucking get him, baby, let's ride?
Yeah, this is always like kind of the most interesting topic, because I think I'll start with the easiest one. Older brother, ride or die. Like he was
Right.
just, we're
Of
gonna
course
figure
I
this
like
out,
that.
dude.
Yeah.
We're gonna figure this out, and I'm with you. And so that's what like really held me together. I think if that hadn't happened, I don't really know how this would have shaken out. But I think my friends were all kind of like, hey, like, what's going on? Like,
Why are you all over the news?
yeah, like why are you suing the NCAA? I'm like, well, I'm technically not. Like I'm the plaintiff. I'm the name assigned to the case.
Yeah.
But like there's a law firm, blah blah blah. And they took it to the NCAA. I didn't like walk into the headquarters and was like, screw you guys. I just believe in this. And then they're like, oh, okay, like that makes sense. I'm like, do you want me to get paid money for swimming or playing volleyball or softball? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, well this does that. This helps you with that.
No, and you guys do deserve it. I mean, look at all the discipline you go through. And like, I mean, like, I just
Yeah.
remember Ohio State, dude. Like, half the people go there for the
Oh my
football
God.
games,
Yes.
right? And like, people, like student athletes are getting in trouble. Like, it was their rings. I get it. This is totally different, but
Yeah.
like, still, like, these guys and these women are providing so much value for these schools, and like putting them on billboards, right? Like putting them on brochures, getting people to come in. Like, yeah, you should be fucking compensated.
Yeah, it's its own marketplace. Like it's its own revenue generating aspects. And so
Yeah.
my
So
friends were like on board with it. Kyle was on board with it. Most of my coaches and the administrators like outcasted me and like huge backlash of like, what, like, no, like, why are you doing this? What's going on? Like, you just made the dumbest decision ever. This is so stupid. Why would you do this to us? And I was like, whoa, dude, like slow your roll. Didn't
and
know
now
like,
they're probably singing a different tune.
yeah, and it's like I didn't know that was your adage too, and this just needs to happen. Like whether you like it or not, I don't like everything in regards to what the lawsuit shook out to be, but like I don't get all the says in it. And I'd say my family was like a different story after Kyle, because the release of the lawsuit in 2020 basically came out about 2 weeks before I had the ability to like properly convey this to any administrators, coaches, or my family. I approached it to my family, and I approached it to probably like 50 other advisors, mentors, lawyers, sports law individuals that I like was like, hey, can you help me out understand this? Of all the people I talked to, probably one person was like, Grant, I think this might turn into something bigger than any of us think it was. But other than that, everyone was like maybe you should do it. Like, I don't know, like maybe you shouldn't, like you don't have to. And it was just like kind of this wish-washy one way or the other. So I was like, all right, it's my choice. And because the news broke, House sues the NCAA. Like that was the title.
Mm-hmm.
I think it scared and freaked out my mom. At the start, it was really hard to have conversations with her about it. I kind of ran through my dad for that. So that was like really challenging on our relationship, but I think made us closer overall. Similar to my sister. And I think looking back and having a more mature perspective, it was like the mother of their child is like, my son is trying to fight the biggest governing body of college. Like that, that's like after high school, it's like, I'm going to play college sports or I'm just going to be a college student. Like that, there's no competitiveness. It's not like NFL, NHL. It's like NCAA.
Yeah.
He is trying to fight them. And I think that's what my sister and my mom like registered in the red alert in their head. So that one took some time to heal and like go through, because they feel like I kind of like didn't trust them enough to tell them, but I didn't have 2 weeks worth of
I'll
time.
say it sounds like it happened like steamrolled pretty fast. And I think it's interesting you say that too, because like you kind of mentioned this earlier, there's almost like the dehumanization of your name. Like it's almost like this was just thrown out there and there was actually, no, there's a living, breathing person behind this with feelings and that is trying to make a difference. Like I'm trying to do right.
Oh yeah. And it's just like, you're trying to attack this, you're trying to tear this down, you're doing this for like the wrong reasons. It's like, dog, what? I didn't even know I was getting any payout until like 2.5 years into that. And excuse my ignorance. I look at that as like a noble aspect now, but like I'm a swimmer. Like there's gonna be there's quarterbacks getting paid like $5 million now. Like I didn't do this for the money. I did this for the opportunity and the availability and the resources for all athletes. But I mean, it was negativity at meets, away from meets, social media. I took like a bunch of breaks from social media for weeks and months at a time. Death threats from calls. Like
what the fuck?
It was crazy. Like my son lost his spot on the team because of you. And it's like, well, your son or daughter, with all due respect, probably wasn't good enough to have that spot if you lost it. So like there's probably another university that will be better suited for him or her.
Right. And people are transferring all the time with this now, getting better deals and stuff. So like
So
that's crazy.
It's really overblown and just people reacting rather than responding and like uneducated takes. It's like you're reacting to a headline. You didn't even look to see like where the money's going to, and you don't even know that House is a person most of the time. Like it's like what? How can I feel
like it sounds like though this brought you a lot of like clarity though, and you handled it with such grace, which is unbelievable. And I'm so glad that you like learned the tools you did from your first like kind of backing off from swimming with the meditation and grounding, because like it just feels like everything kind of happened the way it needed to get you to this point so that you could move through this colossal situation with a lot more like grace and compassion, which is huge.
Thank you. I feel like it's been a huge part.
Yeah, of course. Do you think there's any like other conversations about college athletes that aren't being had that need to be had, or is most of it getting addressed now?
I don't think a lot of it's getting addressed at all. Frankly. Like, unfortunately, like I think one of the biggest aspects is like, well, you have NIL, like you should be happy, and it's like, well, now we have all these issues. I mean, whenever this is released, it's going to be within the last month for sure. So within the last month, we've had a conference within the NCAA suing its own school within its conference. So like the Big 12 sued Texas Tech, and then the NCAA tried to sue and the Texas Tech's quarterback. It's like, you look at any organization, that is not okay. Like, why would you be suing? No. So that was kind of crazy to see, but athletes need more power. Athletes need like a seat at the table. If you look at the NBA, NFL, NHL, MLS, MLB, anything, they all have players unions, players associations, collective bargaining agreements, they're called. I think that's what has to happen. That's what has to happen. Athletes have to become more educated, more compensated, more represented. And that does take time. Like it's only been 5 years. So NIL is still like a toddler at 5 years old. Mm-hmm. So it's like, once you realize that, you kind of look at it different ways, but we do need to be handling it a lot better and getting a better grasp and trying to provide solutions, not just patch symptoms, and really solve causes and find solutions. I think that's the biggest thing is like athletes got the opportunity now, but now there needs to kind of be this realization from the athletes and those above that they need to put athletes in a better place of power to take advantage of that and have more of a voice of, do we care about like this medical care? Do we care more about this resource? Do we care about more media rights? Like everyone's making those decisions for athletes right now. And I think athletes just need to have more courage and have more of a say at that opportunity and kind of figure out our failures one at a time. I think that's just like life. That's the college experience in my lens. That's the epitome of going to college, is to learn some rights and wrongs and experience the world in a different lens and come out from it ideally better. Not everyone does, but
dude, you are leaving such a legacy behind beyond just like kicking ass in the pool. Like, what are you, like top 25 in the world right now? Fucking taking on the NCAA. Meanwhile, I was in college, like doing keg stands, twerking on tables.
Done a keg stand. Never twerked on a table.
We'll change that. Okay. 2028 Olympics is in pursuit. When we get there, we're fucking doing a keg stand, baby. I actually haven't done a kickstand in years. That would also probably kill me if I tried to do that right
You got to
now.
work on the handstands. I can train people to do handstands on it themselves.
Okay. I actually picked up into a handstand on Tuesday. It was like my first time doing a handstand in like a year. And I was like, I'm going to pass out, but it was fun. Okay, dude. Well, it's my favorite part, my favorite time. We'll do these quickly. I have a segment called Dirty Laundry where we just kind of do rapid fire, fun, silly questions, air your dirty laundry, get loose, get crazy. So are you ready? Let's take this on.
All right, I'm down.
Yeah, baby. What is your favorite like pre-meal or snack during a swim meet?
Oh my gosh. I think for me, it's so simple. It's before or after. I'll add that.
Okay.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich cannot be beat. Hands down.
Classic.
If it's with a banana, but if it's before, just a peanut butter and jelly. It's nice. Gives you everything you need.
Old reliable, baby. I love it.
Yeah.
Do you have any weird like superstitions or rituals as an athlete? You guys are built different and you're wired different.
I used to think so, but I've kind of mellowed out enough to not like think that.
What was the old ones then?
Like I used to always have to like touch like my body like 4 times in each spot. I still kind of do it just because it feels good, like in different spots, like my chest or like my back or my legs.
Do that.
Yeah, like that's a little different. Like the slap is like a little different. Like that's just like a stereotypical thing that swimmers do. So you will see that all the time. But mine was like, all right, I'm gonna like tap my calves 4 times. I'm gonna tap my like legs 4 times. I'm gonna it was weird. I don't know why.
It sounds like you might have OCD.
Possibly. It sounds like you're disturbed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I if you see me behind the blocks, like I'll kind of be jumping up and down, but I don't think I have too many of those at this point anymore.
You're too meditative. You're too zen now, baby.
Yeah. You can't be dependent on those.
Oh God, I wish I had your mindset, dude. You're just spectacular. If you could race anybody in the world, like who retired, not retired, whoever, who would it be?
Oh, if I could race anyone, man, I would say he just retired and I miss him a lot. Training with him, he trained out here for 3 years, but I'd probably say Ryan Held. I'm a lot better at sprinting now, and I think it'd be really fun to like race him like head to head, like when he's training, like if he was at a better peak than he probably is right now for swimming. But yeah, probably Ryan Held. We'd always go back and forth in practice, and he just became one of my better friends in life. So have an epic story for another time about how I got to his wedding, but he's the man. He's the sheriff. He's the sheriff in town for sure.
The sheriff? Is that his nickname?
That's his nickname. Yeah.
So you could be the deputy.
There we go. That sounds a little bit less, but we would always go back and forth on being the sheriff in town, and so that was kind of always the battle. But yeah, more or less everyone knew it's like, all right, Grant's actually the deputy. He just wants.
No, you're the sheriff. You're the head detective. You're the FBI.
There we go.
Okay, fuck, marry, kill, or date the 4 swim strokes.
Ooh. Oh, well, there's 4. So what's the
fuck, marry, kill, or date?
Marry, kill, or date. I gotta marry freestyle because in that stroke you're like just basically making love to the water. Kill would probably be backstroke just because I've been so bad at it now. Even though I set that age group record at backstroke, I was a little bit chubbier and muscle doesn't float now, so I don't float as well.
Maybe that's why I was so good at it as a kid.
All right, so I got the marry and the kill out of the way. I would probably, gotta fuck breaststroke. It's in the name, right?
Okay.
Come on, it's right there. And then date, I guess butterfly. It feels like the strongest. I feel like I'd be pretty confident on that date. Like it's a confident stroke. It's very powerful, very strong. So
that's definitely somebody you date. Like, I'm not going to marry you, but we're going to have some fun. We're going to look silly. Right? Yeah. Okay. Right? Great answers.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a new
there
one.
Is, I had to do it. There's a movie coming out about Grant House's life from his high school to college career, his Olympic pursuit, House versus NCAA. What's the movie called and who's playing you?
Oh my gosh. If it can't be me playing myself,
you can play yourself, but like
I did do 3.5 years of theater in high school. Just
fuck off. Literally, what can't you do?
I was the lead role in 12 Angry Men. I'm not gonna say I'm proud of this.
Okay, this is my next question. What can't you fucking do? Name one thing you're bad at, please.
I can't do art. I'm so bad at drawing.
Okay, thank God.
Stick figure with like the bubble eyes is like where I can. That's my extent of art.
Watch next time I see you, I'm gonna make you draw something. It's gonna be fucking spectacular. I'm gonna hit you in the face.
No, I promise. Name of the movie. If it can't be me, it's got to be my guy, Christian Bale, favorite actor.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he's just the man. I think he's the best male actor in existence right now. That might be a scorching hot take, but no one bends the physical spectrum that he has, from The Exorcist to American Hustle. Like the dedication that dude has to Batman too. Come on.
Yeah, dude. No, he's Ford versus Ferrari, one of my favorites. Like that's a sleeper. Come on, so good. I know.
Oh my gosh. The title of it. Oh, that's a. I don't want to say. I would say Playing with House Money. I think that's pretty bad.
Oh, I'll say you have to use the word house in it, dude. There's
right?
It's the best name ever. What's your go-to pump up song before your heat?
Oh, this is very, very specific. It's I would say Trippin' by Bunt.
I don't know it.
You should check it out. It's very house music, very like 120, 130 BPM. That one might be a little bit higher, but that one's just like a good mood. It's all most of his stuff. The stuff I like from him is like very mood boosting, very good endorphins.
Hell yeah.
Very 120, 130 BPM house music.
All right. And I was told I need to ask this one, and I've heard about him before, but I'm not 100% sure the story. Who is Rambunctious Ray?
Rambunctious Ray. Oh man, he is an alter ego individual of my father. So when Miss Distinguished Jack Heeman over there and I would have many of our adventures growing up, and we would be at my house. We had an in-ground pool at my house, a beautiful yard, like 4 acres at my house, very, very big green grass, a playground, basketball court, like very Indiana. And we had an in-ground pool with a slide, a basketball hoop that we brought from the high school. Probably shouldn't have had it technically. And then a diving board. And every time when we were growing up, we'd have a Rambunctious Ray lesson where he would literally just take us. And at this time, he's 70 now. So at the time he was like 50, maybe 50, I guess 50. And he would just be throwing these 2 just kids into the pool, doing flips off of his shoulders, like throwing us off the diving boards, doing handstands into the pool as like a 50-year-old, and showing us his handstand dives. But it's like a core memory for us, and like will be undeniably one of the biggest memories I'll ever have of my dad. But I mean, it was Jack and I. It wasn't with my brother, but Jack and I were the same size, same age, so my dad could toss us around, and it would just be nonstop. I mean, this guy had to be exhausted after that. I don't understand how he did it. Like we were like 6 or 8 or 5 or something like that too. Yeah. So it was for a while, and I remember there was one time where it was like, all right, this is probably going to be the last Rambunctious Ray. Like, you guys are getting a little too big for this now, especially both.
Yeah, and you two aren't small.
No, we are not. We are not small mammals, and we certainly weren't small babies either at any regards.
Yeah, I know. I'm scared and aware of that for if that ever happens in my future.
Yeah, Rambunctious. At least Jack was a little bit leaner than I was when we were younger. I was a little bit of a chubby baby. I was a little bit of I had a lot to love.
You're a cutie pie. Okay, the last question, and you can say no, but I advise you don't. I always end it with allowing my guests to ask the Magic 8-Ball a question. It's one of my favorite things ever. She's so savage. Ooh. She's so honest. Is there a burning question that you want to know before I close this out?
Wow, how much stakes can we put on this? Like, is it
anything? It's just a yes or no question. Like literally whatever your heart's desire. But it's up to you. I don't want to read a bad message, or maybe I'll just lie to you.
I'm gonna go pretty heavy here.
Let's go, baby.
This is gonna be heavy, and I hope you and Jack meet her at some point. Will this relationship that I'm in be my last relationship I'm in?
Oh my God, we have a hot girlfriend. Okay, well I almost want to continue this episode, but we've been talking way too long. But I cannot wait. I have so many questions.
Oh God, that's the first one that came to mind.
I'm just gonna keep shaking it.
Yeah, I knew this would put the pressure on.
Oh my God. Yep. It said, yep, 100%.
Yep,
Everything's perfect.
For sure. It said, yep. Don't worry,
Yep.
Lily. It said yes.
It said, Lily, it said 3 times that you were the most beautiful girl in the whole world and that you're not going
She
anywhere.
just has a lot of female listeners, so she just wanted to make sure that no one else got offended. Yeah, I get it. I get it. It's such a kind soul, Taylor.
I know. Yeah, totally. Lily, I can't wait to meet Lily. Is she going to come home for Christmas? Possibly.
She just came to Cincinnati for the first time. Ooh. After my Indianapolis meet. We got to go down to the levee and the riverbank. But honestly, you'll probably see her out in San Diego before then.
Come out.
We were already trying to get out there earlier, but it didn't work out with our schedules. But yeah,
I don't know when the hell you have the time, my guy, but you're always welcome here. You know that.
But we'll see. We'll see what the future holds. There's some things that are changing right now with her lifestyle. So some exciting changes I'll save for off the podcast for you and Jack. But
yay.
Yeah. So maybe I'll put it up to a maybe. It was a no for sure until the last month, but it's a maybe right now.
Well, I will cross my fingers and toes and hope to see you soon.
Likewise.
Well, Grant, thank you so much again. This has been so fun, and I just can't reiterate enough how much of a badass you are. I'm so impressed by you, and yeah, thanks for taking the time to chat with me. You're the best.
Oh no, but seriously, Taylor.
You're too cute. Okay, homie. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you silly goosies. Thank you so much for tuning in to But Seriously. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at butseriously.pod and check out our website for upcoming events and exclusive merch. You can find all the links in our YouTube video description or on our Instagram page. See you next time.